Okay. I don't have a lot of time. I went into the woods and I was looking for Pokemon, and it didn't work out. And now there's something following me, and I feel like I just... Who's out there? All I found was like a fucking Squirtle or something. Oh god. Oh god, what is that? Okay. Okay. Hey you guys, and welcome to another episode of Jet Adventures. Now today, we're going to be doing a full spoiler review of the Blair Witch Movie, which was a sequel to the Blair Witch Project, which came out in 1999. Now the Blair Witch Movie was directed by Adam Wingard, and you know as the story goes, James goes out to find his sister Heather, who got lost and we think died in the original Blair Witch Movie. Now, I've already done the review. If you want to know my general thoughts on the movie, that's going to be in the spoiler-free discussion. Here, I'm just going to get a little more open form and just talk about what I thought in terms of like things that I liked specifically. For me, when you cut your goddamn foot in the river, you go the fuck home. And everyone wants... There's a paramedic. They go, okay, James is the paramedic, right? Why the fuck would you let your friend walk through the river with no shoes on, get a big cut on the bottom of her foot, and then continue the journey? Because I've got to find my sister that was dead fucking 10 years ago. I don't know why they decided to do that. And that's not something I like about it. That's actually something I don't like. I'm gonna get a little half and half here. Things that I liked and things that I didn't like. Another thing I didn't like was, what the fuck was Peter's problem? Why was he being such an asshole all the time? First of all, the goober, Lane, and his stinky girlfriend looks like she doesn't shower. I'm pretty sure the actress showers, but the character doesn't look like she showers. But this fucking asshole Peter decides that he's gonna laugh at every single thing the guy Lane says, which I'm surprised Lane was even helping them in the first place. They're fucking laughing at him the whole time, and he decided, oh yeah, have your laugh, I'm still gonna walk you through the woods. Not to, I guess he wanted to prove his point. I guess he wanted to prove the point that the Blair Witch exists, which I don't even know why he got that crazy about it to begin with. And if he did, then he really would have relished the time that they were spending getting lost for 5 days, which was a really cool mechanic. Like when they came back into the woods and they said, we've been fucking out here for 5, and you can see it on their face, they got grime and stuff, they look like they've been out there for a while. We've been out here for 5 days and stuff, and how he wound up back in the house, or even what he was saying while they were in the house once they all got there, was kind of crazy. Like, you figure they lasted 5 days, and these people didn't even last like 3 before they all freaked out and ran in different directions, which, why would you do that? And of course they killed the one black guy first. Done. He's out. Although I wasn't that mad about it, not because he's black, but because of the fact that he was such an asshole the whole time. He was laughing at Lane. I don't know, maybe that's just me and my own type of psychosis, but I felt like the guy Lane is just trying to do his job. He's like, this is a really cool thing that I've been researching. I'm gonna take these people on a hike, and the dude's laughing at him the whole time. And I was like, fuck you, you die first. One thing I will say is how fucking cool did that witch look when they talked about, in the beginning, how her long arms had been like attached by rocks and shit, and she was really long. And when you finally see glimpses of her, which is cool, I love that they were just barely showing this weird supernatural monster thing that you never really get to see, but you do, you know, kind of, you get glimpses of it, and she's got these long, like, weird limbs, and I thought maybe we were going to get a little bit more insight into what the character or what the witch was like, maybe a little bit more background. But honestly, I like what they decided to do anyways, because it's this intangible monster, this thing that you never even get close enough to learn about. And I'm glad it didn't go on this spiel, or we didn't get to learn too much about her backstory. You just see that she's this tormented monster now, and you're fucked. You are super fucked. Everyone, as soon as it turned dark, they were fucked, because the way they built the new world now is as soon as it turns dark, you're now in that realm, which didn't happen, I don't think, in the first one. But I felt like I said before, they were leaning much heavier on the supernatural. So maybe she's like, you know what, fuck it, I'm not gonna let them walk around the woods anymore. As soon as it gets dark, I'm fucking with them. Their ass is grass. But for me, that was a pretty cool mechanic. The fact that it stayed dark the whole time, and now you're just entrenched in this world, like a parallel universe type thing. It was really cool to see that. Another thing I really liked was the way they made the house, which honestly, when they tried to punch through it, it was kind of weird, because it seemed like it's rotted wood, but it was strong where it needed to be and weak where it needed to be, just like a movie. But the weak and strong wood aside, the way the characters interacted with the house was really cool. You know, it was this maze of doors, and it was so confusing, and the handprints and the symbols. It was a really interesting and scary take. And, you know, we'd never really seen them go into too many different levels, and you felt like, don't open that door! And then they open the door, and it's just playing with them. And I was afraid, too, because it almost turned into a little horror movie where he was chasing the girl. But you could tell, like, towards the end, it was actually maybe his own psychosis that the witch was playing with, because he was just kind of following his sister, or he was trying to find her. Maybe that was her, and that's what she looked like when she was little, although why she'd be wearing this weird long, like, gown type. Why are they always wearing the weird long type gown thing? Always. All those scary bitches. Well, okay, there's gonna be a new movie coming out. I'm gonna tell you right now, there's a new movie coming out called Ouija. It's the origins to the new Ouija movie, and the girl gets possessed by a demon. Every scene that she's in, she's wearing this little white gown, and I'm like, don't you have like pants or a sweatshirt or something? Don't you shop anywhere else other than creepyvictorianstore.com? I mean, fuck, wear something else. Let's see you in an American Eagle shirt or something. Maybe they gotta get paid for the rights, I don't know. But either way, it was a really cool thing that they did with the house. And honestly, there weren't too many parts about it that I didn't like. Even right down to the ending where he was like, don't look, don't look. And she was shitting her bricks, and then he finally got convinced, although you really don't see it happening too much. I felt like it was just kind of a thing they did, and less of like, you could feel the fact that the supernatural elements were getting to him. It was more like he was like, totally normal human trying to survive, and then ding! What? What was that? Heather? And then he gets taken, and she shits her pants, and the whole time, and it was really scary, don't get me wrong. But when she's like walking back with the camera, and she's trying to see, which is really cool, and I was like, okay, you gotta do that thing, because it's like Medusa with the, you can't look exactly at her, and so she puts the camera up, and she's looking back, and she's like, and I was like, okay, I get it, you're scared, and maybe that's how you breathe, but that's a little distracting and kind of silly. Speaking of silly, the way the bitch's back broke, actually, you know what, I'm sorry, that was a really cool scene, but the way the other girl who cut her foot was reacting to that was totally stupid. I mean, I guess, I don't know, it was so weird, because it was like, the camera was like here, here, and here, and it was like, bitch with broken back, and the girl screaming, she's like, ah! and I don't know, maybe they were just like, hey, do what you want, a girl breaks her back, what are you gonna do? And that was kind of silly, but the back-breaking thing was really cool, I thought. And I thought maybe they were going to play more with it. You know, they're like, oh shit, let's not touch them. These sticks are connected to us somehow. just don't touch them, and maybe, you know, one would fall in the fire or something, or they'd start, you know, fighting with each other. I thought it was going to be a little bit longer of a burn, but as soon as they get into it, you know, they push you right in. It's like, okay, we're here, supernatural stuff, go. You're not even going to be given a chance to go crazy or anything or question reality. You're just in full-on paranormal parallel universe where it never turns to sunlight. When I initially saw it, I didn't like it. But thinking back on it now, if they had done it another way, where they let the characters go insane, people would have accused it for being just a rehash of the first one. Which in its own kind of way is, because of the way it ended, everyone dies, and then maybe the way they just go crazy. But I feel like it was a newer version with different elements. It was a lot stronger on the paranormal side, and so for that I could forgive it, because it's still, you know, definitely worth seeing. And even like I said before, where they were being assholes, I didn't even feel that bad when they died. I was like, good, you're making fun of the dude who believes in some weird shit, and now you die. So it was kind of cathartic for me. I don't know. And one last thing, I didn't believe any of those jump scares. The first one kind of got me. The second and third one and fifth one and fourth one, where the people just kind of like fade in from nowhere in this wooded area where there's grass and sticks and dirt and your shoes make sound. I don't agree with it. I don't think that, you know, if you're like 1 foot away and you lean in to the camera and go, "What are you doing?" that they wouldn't hear you coming. And I know they did it for the movie, but it just kind of, it was one of those things that kind of like took me out of it. It was like, oh, well, you're just playing with it. That's a highly manufactured scare. All these scares are manufactured, but this one is so like fake and forced that they have to subtract the sound from it just to get you to think a certain way, just to get you to relax, and then and that's the noise that's going to scare you. And it's one of those things where, you know, you think it's scaring you, but it's actually just startling you. It's not doing anything in terms of like atmosphere and creating a real sense of fear or anything like that. But overall, you know, still a movie I would like to go see again. It was really strong at the end. I loved the parts that I loved. The parts that were kind of bad, I can almost forgive it for. It's a little, it takes away from the story. So for me, it's what kept it from being so strong, because I felt like they could have given a little bit more time to them going insane or just falling into this type of trap, you know, or the type of scares they were trying to do at the beginning. It was cheap, and it took away from the story, and it had nothing to do with the environment. It was just like, I'm here, bitch. That's all they were. But I still felt like the ending was strong enough that it pulled everybody up, and it stands on its own as a still strong 7.2, 7.3. I might have gone lower since the last score. I'm not sure. I still feel like it's definitely higher than Don't Breathe. I felt like I was definitely way more entertained. But that's all I have for this review. Tell me what you thought. What did you think about the scenes? Would you have cut your foot and kept walking? Or would you have let all your friends run the fuck away? Or would you have even gone into the woods in the first place because there's bears? There's bears. You're gonna get eaten by a fucking bear. Especially when none of you have any type of gear on. If you saw the girl who stepped on something and cut her foot, her boots were not waterproof. None of their boots were waterproof. None of them were wearing raincoats or jackets, thick like weatherproof stuff, you know? It just felt like, oh, I'm gonna go camping, this will be cute to wear, I'm gonna get it from Target or from wherever bitches get cute shit. But yeah, that's basically everything I thought about it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm trying out a new method for the reviews. Hopefully this was a little more entertaining, interactive. Let me know what you thought. Until next time, you guys, Jet Adventures.